on. There we go.
Hello,
Right.
welcome. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. If you're new, please let us know. We love to give you a shout out. And then our OGs, original gangsters, please say hi. Who am I? I'm Amanda. And normally my daughter Lisa is with me, but she is working very hard. Matthew behind on the small screen. I don't know, and Instagram, you can't see him. But YouTube and Facebook, he's there managing the comments and everything. And we are from a company called Fabric8. And if you want to find us online, we are www.fabric, the word, with the number 8.co.za. And what is tonight? It is Create with Fabric8. Used to be live Tuesdays. What do we do here? Well, we chat. We chat things creative. And we, as a company, would love to be your go-to creative supply store. And we specialize at the moment in sewing, knitting, crochet, wool, hand embroidery. We've got quite a, well, we have about 3,000 products. So I'm sure if you're looking for something, you'll find it. And we do this every week. And it's a little bit of a chat. Community building is what I call it. And then we have a tutorial where I provide you with a free pattern that's free to download on our website, and a quick sort of a tutorial. The pattern also comes with instructions, and my instructions, I've like really upgraded my instructions. They take me now even longer to do, but I have pictures and developing my illustrator skills. Anyway, much better than I used to be. So, yeah, as I said, the pattern is free to download, and we chat about 15-20 minutes, and then we start with the pattern. And I obviously don't start from scratch and finish the whole pattern because that takes too long. So I do some prep work, but as I said, the instructions has everything in lately. I am really trying to provide you with good instructions so that you don't actually need to watch the video, or if you like me and you're more of a watcher than a reader, then the instructions should together, the two should be perfect. Yeah, and we have many free patterns that are still up there for download. We have WhatsApp groups, and those are really great if you're just starting out, or if you, like most people who sew from home, just sitting all day talking to yourself and watching videos on TV, and you have a question, and where do you get the answer? Especially because a lot of Google answers aren't South African, so you can't actually find what you're looking for. But then on the WhatsApp groups, you can always ask. There's always someone on there that knows where to find something or how to do something. We have 2 sewing groups. We have a 𝐓𝐈𝐌𝐿𝐓, we have a knitting, we have a crochet, we have a...
She means that, like, there's an Afrikaans group and an English group.
A 𝐓𝐈𝐿𝐓, yeah, and like, 2 English sewing groups.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not that, you know, they're not going to translate everything for you guys. Yeah. This is a strictly English podcast. Yes. I didn't understand Afrikaans.
Yes. So, and we also have embroidery, quilting, and then we have an updates group. So if you're not into or not keen on all the group messages, then you can be on an updates group, and we will tell you if there's live, if we have a special, if anything is happening, you'll get that. And I can almost guarantee you that if as much as 1 or 2 WhatsApps a week. So you're definitely not going to be bothered, but otherwise just mute the group and read when you have time. Yeah, so who's here?
We have Bernice is here.
Hello, Bernice.
Antoinette is here.
Antoinette, hello.
And thank you, as always, Amanda, for your hard work and give us amazing tools and instructions. Gail says hello.
Hello, Gail.
Countess Nails also says hello.
Hello, Countess.
And that is all for now. Drico on Instagram says hi.
Hi, Drico.
Yes, and that is all for now.
Okay, just a little bit of a...
MK on YouTube as well.
Hi, MK. Listen, guys. So Instagram only allows us an upright picture, and we can't do anything fancy. So if you want to see more, we have a zoom camera, and we have a better sound and everything on YouTube. And what's really nice about YouTube is people tend to chat. So guys, if you want to chat on YouTube, just click the subscribe button, because then your chat will come up and you'll be able to chat to us. And please ask questions throughout. If Matthew forgets to ask your question, just type it again. We have a lot of things coming through, so we might miss your question. Don't get offended. Just type it again. All right. And if you ask the question, just listen when I'm talking so I can ask a question back. Sometimes I don't have the full picture and I'm asking more questions, but you are welcome to ask me questions throughout the whole live. And as I said, we normally here till about earliest 8:30, 9 o'clock we have to be out. So we tend to sort of pack up by 8:30. 8:30. Let me just get my Afrikaans and English correct.
8:30.
8:30, 8:30, not 9:30.
Yes, the English people, I know they did it wrong, but that's just how it is.
Okay, anyone did anything we did lately? Anyone made any one of our patterns lately and found that it was great, or it wasn't so great, or something? Some comments on the patterns and the projects?
Bianca is here, and so is
Hi,
Ria.
Bianca. Who?
Ria.
Ria. Hello, Ria.
I assume Ria is a new person.
I don't know. We get people who like come back after a few weeks and then they sound new again. But I haven't lately. Ria hasn't been on lately, unless maybe she was a lurker and she's now jumped out of the closet. Out of the sewing closet into the open wide sewing world. Any comments? No.
And then I received another order super fast.
Oh, awesome. Great stuff. I'm so glad. I'm so glad to hear that. We actually had 1 or 2 problems this week. But once again, when you start delving into it, the one was a wrong address that was given, and the other one, well, it was on its way. It just took a little bit too long. So yeah. I always want to know if there's a problem with your package. You can always speak to Delmarie on the WhatsApp, and if there's any problems, if anything's gone wrong, we are here and we try and fix every single problem, mistake. Just if you're just feeling generally unhappy for the day, we will also try and fix that for you. Okay, so I have a question. What is the one thing that you wish we had that you would order from us that we don't have?
I made the first duffel bag and your crossover bag. Great pattern.
Oh, awesome. I'm so glad.
Ria says she is new.
Oh, Ria, hello. Welcome. So, what's the one thing you would buy from us if we had it, but we don't? The one thing. Because I'm considering, like, for instance, zips. But zips is such a big thing. And I'm wondering, do people, I mean, I use a lot of zips, but I buy like 10, 20 at a time. And then I don't buy for a while. But I mean, would you guys, what is the one thing that you wish I kept that you use and want? And I know about the bag stuff. There's people who keep commenting bag hardware. We are working on it. The problem is to get the hardware in South Africa. That is the big problem.
Calvin says, Calvin Smith says, hi Amanda.
Hello.
Happy to see you again.
Where do I know you from, Calvin?
I think I recognize his name. I think he's been on Instagram before. But
Oh, okay. Is that why?
I knew this was going to come up. The material that you used, the funky design one. I knew that was going to happen.
Okay, so as I said, I am a weird fabric shopper. So I find material where, I don't know, material that nobody else wants, like lying in piles and in the scrap shops and and I have about 20 years worth of fabric pieces stacked in my house. So the material I use is very possibly old fabric that I've had, or fabric that I buy and people look at it and they don't see the potential. So yes, we have some fabrics, and those fabrics were all chosen by me. I love those fabrics. I just don't use them on the live because don't want to use up my product. Okay. And I am working on getting more materials. I'm also a bit of a material snob, so I only use cotton fabric. I don't like other fabrics. So generally I shop the cotton aisles.
Kelvin says
Circulo, yes.
There we go. Yeah, that one.
Oh, that Kelvin. Did you say his surname is Spies?
His name is Calvin Spiss.
Okay, you said it's Spies like South African Spies. That's how I got confused. I heard the South African Spies. So yeah, that's why I didn't even think. Kelvin, thanks for joining us. Yes. Kelvin is from Brazil. Is he in Brazil? Is it Brazil? Somewhere there. Yeah?
I have no idea.
I think so.
He says, I use a lot of zips. I buy the zip chain and links. Much more economical. I'm not sure if that's
Zip chain and links. Zip chain and links. I'm assuming you're saying, when you say zip chain and links, you're buying the zip on the roll and then you buy the little puller separately. I think that's what she means. Otherwise, I don't actually know what
Lisa
zip.
Bragg says, evening everyone.
Evening, Lisa Bragg from last week.
She's been, she said she's been here before.
Yeah, I know. Why did I not? I would have remembered the Bragg surname. Maybe I was just not concentrating. Lots of times there's many people and I don't actually realize. Guys, also just as a note, we are still looking for someone that's really good with knitting and crochet. We need someone to come on here and teach me how to knit and crochet, or maybe someone that's already got videos that we can use and share, and then also link up your Insta and everything with ours, and by that we both benefit. Yeah, that is something we are desperately looking for. We have found a few people, but they didn't want to use the wool that I can get, and I don't want to say a sponsor, but I have a wool brand, and we actually want to promote the wool brand and also then the person obviously who does things. So if you know of anyone does really cool, 𝐓𝐈𝐌𝐄𝐒, can never say that name, it's a lot of U's and M's and R's. That little small knit crochet toys, we really desperately need someone to, I would say an influencer, but you don't need to be like a big hoo-ha. We can start together and then become big hoo-has together. Yeah, so I have a specific brand in mind, and they do awesome, especially cottons and great crochet and macrame and all sorts of things. And yeah, so if you know of anyone, please let us know, or if you are that person.
Lisa Bragg said, I would, but I'm in Gauteng.
Lisa Bragg, you don't have to come here, you can make videos. If you're good at it, we don't mind. It's a, what do they say? It's like a, what's it, the internet world? There's like a smart world. A digital world. We don't need to see each other. And then my assistant is in Pretoria. I mean, literally my assistant works from Pretoria for me. So in this digital world, we don't actually have to come in here. I mean, you could teach anyone there. You don't have to put your face in the video if you don't like that. But we are just wanting to help someone grow their crochet knitting brand, and then obviously with a sponsored wool or yarn or whatever you want to call it, and then we both benefit. Yeah, so we prefer someone who isn't already Insta famous, because then there's no benefit for that person joining our club. But if we can grow together, because we got a lot of sewing and sewing people, but the knitting and crochet is it's not a new area, but it's our newest or latest area. And yeah, it's really growing day by day, and we'd love to like have free patterns for that also and things like that. How are we doing on time?
And that's it. I literally started doing our amigurumi last week with YouTube tutorials, hence why I ordered some toy stuff in from you last week.
Okay, well,
joke.
Okay, well, you guys get to knitting and get there fast. Sometimes actually someone who's quite new at it is very good. It's like I always say to people, you don't want to learn from someone who has done it so many years that they can't actually dumb down to the point where they can teach someone. Like when I started giving sewing classes, I literally, I always say my first students, they were really like test subjects, because as I was teaching, I realized there's a lot of things that I'd forgotten about, or that I just do automatically, that I didn't teach because I just assumed. So lots of times it's actually quite cool to start something, and while you're still learning, or as you learn something, to actually work with that, and then you grow your brand, and also people sort of learn with you, you know. I'm just saying, but keep on knitting. And as I said, I have an opportunity for someone who really wants to get into it.
Lisa Bragg says, I still need to learn amigurumi, but I can crochet, knit, sew, and embroider. Gail Picks, I do a bit of finger knitting with big chunky wool, makes great winter gifts.
Oh yeah, I know. Where do you get your wool from? The big chunky ones? Is it that really thick one? Those, or the...
Yes, Bianca's right. Like, share, and subscribe, people. There are 19 people watching and only 7 likes. Please leave a like for us.
Yeah, you guys better like. Lisa's gonna get on your case before this live is finished. Okay, so I'm gonna start. Don't chat in between. Don't feel like I'm rushing you into anything, but I'm quite excited about the 2 little projects. I don't know if they uploaded, but they will be uploaded. And they are just extras for tonight, and super easy to sew.
Countess Nell says, I do amigurumi, don't mind doing videos.
Okay, Countess, do you have on my laptop is a cell phone numbers. Is it, what's that? No, there, written on my laptop.
Oh, yes, I have them.
Does the one say does it say whose is whose?
No. Well, one said S and D.
Okay, the D one. Put that on there. Okay, guys, if you want to get involved with us, even if you want to try it out, please, Matthew's going to put on the WhatsApp number. Please contact Delmarie, and she'll contact me, and I'll get into contact with you. Jeez, that was long. You speak to my people. My people will speak to me, and then I will speak to your people. But yes, please. Okay, so this is something I happened upon, and to be very, very honest, and I don't like saying that, this has been done. So I sort of watched the video and then made a pattern from the video. So I'm not claiming this is my pattern. It's a pattern. It's a free pattern. I'm sure if she's putting a video out there and the size of the stuff is on there, I'm sure it's free. But I thought I'm going to try and make them and see how easy they are to make. And they are actually super easy. Okay, so those are called pattern weights. And I don't use them, but I have had a lot of people ask about them. I'm a pinner. So that's what those are. Okay, and they are super easy, as I said, to make. So the one pattern looks like this, and the other pattern I have probably lost because it's not here, is a triangle like this. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to just quickly show you how to make one. I actually like this one more because it takes more, and I find the sewing to be easier. And this is the square. Can you believe that this turns into that? I couldn't either. Okay, so just a quick lesson. If the pattern's not uploaded, I'll...
It is uploaded.
Oh, okay. All right, so you're going to take, this is literally the pattern. There we go. You're going to take this little square, and you're going to fold it in half, like that. All right. You're going to take a piece of ribbon, and you can measure them if you want. But, and that piece of ribbon is going to go in there. In there. You're going to close it up, and you're going to pin that little ribbon in there, like that. And let me get my pen. And what we are going to do is we are going to sew down there and down there. All right. So I'm going to just pin that. And guys, excuse my machine. I mean, this is a wonderful machine. I'm just not used to it now. So I look like someone who doesn't know what she's doing, because I'm looking for electronic buttons, which this one hasn't. My machine just decided right now that it is not going to sew tonight. I cleaned it, I rethreaded it, everything. It just wants to be difficult. Okay, so that's that one. This one you're going to fold like that. If I remember correctly, let me just see. Yeah. You're going to fold it like that. And we are going to sew down here. All right. So I'm going to sew that quick. Oh, this is even worse to see at standing up. But okay. And I have to remember to reverse. Oh, that's not threaded. What happened to my thread? Oh, fucking hell. Okay, here we go. Let's see if I can use this threader, because it's
Teresa Swat says hello, everyone.
hello. Okay, here we go. It's threaded. Let's try that again. All right, so I'm going to start in the corner. Make sure that you double stitch or enforce, because also you don't need a very wide seam allowance. 5 mil is like fine. So we're just gonna sew down there to that corner. And as I said, I have to manually turn now. This is a great machine, don't get me wrong, guys. This is a real workhorse. It's called the Brother GS3700. It is also okay, so we're just going to sew that one also. This is also the entry-level machine I would recommend. I would not go lower. And what is the word? Cheaper. So I hate that word when you talk about anything, but I wouldn't go lower than this machine, because this machine has everything you need, and you won't have to upgrade. Like when you buy a real entry-level machine, you're going to be 2 or 3 months in, and then you're going to realize, oh, but it can't do this and it can't do that. Okay, so we've sewn those. I'm just going to cut away for where the points are on both. Okay, let's do the square one first. So now what we are doing is we are opening. Are you zoomed?
Yes.
Opening up here, and we are just pinning that bit closed.
Teresa says loves the t-shirt, Amanda.
Oh, thanks. Yes. Okay, and this is also the point where we are going to leave a little turnout hole. So I wouldn't leave the corner, because that's always very difficult to sew by hand. So I'm actually going to leave a turnout hole that big, just so that I know the actual little thing is going to fit through there. Okay, so we're going to sew from there to there, stop, and from there to there. All right, and then this one slightly more intricate. So we're going to open it up also. We're going to take that point, see, and we're going to match it up to that side, and we're only going to sew this one side now. So, see, it makes a little triangle, but we're not going to sew that side. So we are going to sew this side, and you're going to sew the whole side. Listen, there is ways of doing it neater. So we're going to sew down there, and we're not leaving a turnout hole here yet. So let's do that one quick.
Boosie says hi on Facebook.
Hello, Boosie. Okay, and we're going to sew that little bit and that little bit, leaving a hole, eh, on this one. It's such bad foot control with this one now. Okay, so that's done.
Guys, I think that this is a good change of pace for Amanda to use a worse machine to show you guys. I think next time, the next project, hand stitch.
Yeah. No,
and sew.
Okay, so I'm just going to again cut away my corners. Cut away the corner there. Cut away the corner there. This is where my my little, oh, I don't know what's happening here. There's a lot of threads here. This is where my little opening is. And a little trick when you're going to hand sew is open that up and fold it and hand finger iron those little seams, so that once you've turned it out, that little edge where the hole is nicely folded, so that you know where the fold should be. Okay, so this one, and you'll see why I say this is not, I don't like this one so much, is it comes, see the little thingy comes here on the side, which this one also does, but I think because this one is bigger, it works better. Anyway, okay, so now there we have that last, see that last open seam, and you are gonna take this, anything, a little ribbon, it is gonna go inside. Okay, and I put it in like a little bit skew, so that it's sort of, actually it shouldn't be skew. That's maybe why it's not. The ribbon doesn't want to work with me today. So I'm putting it in there, in, and getting it in the seam. And I'm going to pin that just to keep it there. And again, I need to sew down there and then leave a little hole and sew. Okay, so I'm going to get them both to this point so that then we can chat while I turn them out. What is happening? I forgot that you have to hold the little thread on this machine. See, I told you. I'm going to do stupid things. No, it's not wanting to speak to me. There we go.
There are 23 people on YouTube, which is quite a lot, but they're very quiet today.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening. Come on, people, speak to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Is there not a song like that? There is an 80s song.
I have no idea.
Okay, so that's done. There we go. There is my little hole. There. All right. And again, I'm just gonna fold this back so that, oh gosh, I think I sewed. Okay, let's just get the unpicker because that little ribbon came into my sewing. So let's just get that little bit out of there. Sorry guys. As I said, you get real sewing here. My screw ups also show. See, it just slipped into my little stitch there.
Dr. Shaima Mohammed says hi, my first time.
Hello, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I just made a little boo-boo. I'm just going to fix that quickly. Okay, let's see if I can get this right. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Okay, so as I was saying, I'm just going to fold this. Who's talking outside? Fold that back and fold that one back so that it has, it's sort of a fold memory. Okay, and then where is me point turner? Matthew, why don't you go check on my desk? I think I left my point turner there. It's a pink thing. It's like a weird pink thing. Okay, so we're gonna start turning, and I left a very small hole. It's always good to try and get one of the points out first. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Sorry, I was making these at my desk, trying to get my sewing machine to work with me. Okay, so I always use the point turner to help me push it through, because if you leave a huge big hole in such a small project, then you end up with a really big piece that has to be hand sewn, and honestly hate hand sewing, so I try and avoid that at all costs. And this fabric is also quite stiff, so I think if you use it slightly, you can see this is like paper. If I bend it that way, it stays. See, it's a very stiff fabric. Anyway, let me just get this through here. There we go, almost done. So this is just, as I said, this is a little side project. I've had quite a few people ask about paper pattern weights, and they are extremely expensive, and the ones that we can find are absolutely ridiculously expensive, and the ones that I found the other day are actually made like this, and why we are all here to learn how to sew, so this is a perfect little project. Okay, so I'm just going to go in.
Dean's here again today.
Hello Dean, wat eet jy vanaand? Dean is a friend, and he is watching while he's cooking. So you just go in and get all the like pointy bits nice and pretty turned out. So that's two. I need another one up here. There we go. That one is done.
Ek eet leftover gats.
Oh, lekker. From last night. Okay, and we just the last one here. And there is your little bag. And can you see how that little, just that fold that I did there makes that such a little easy hole to hand sew. So you can make like 10 or 20 of these, and then like in front of the TV sit and fill them. So how do you fill them? Someone made a little thing, but if you have a little, I don't know what this is called in English. In Afrikaans it's called a tractor. What is this called in English? A tractor.
Cylinder, a funnel.
No, funnel. Is it a funnel? Yeah, something like that. So you just put it in there, and then you can obviously use rice, But as I was making this one this afternoon, I thought if you wanted them even heavier, I would actually fill them with rice and maybe 3, what is the old bastard? What is wrong with my English? Marbles. Maybe 3 marbles to give it more weight. All right, so that's that one. Fill it with rice and then sit in front of the TV and hand sew. That's that one.
Lisa corrected. For the embroidery, I can do it. It's by hand, not machine, as I don't have an embroidery machine.
No.
Bianca says that she says that she's trying to eat and dinner and type. I think that's why she's more quiet this time. It's okay, Bianca. You can send lots of messages later to make up for it. What's it? Dr. Schreiber says, lots of love flying to you from Swaziland. Thanks, Matthew, and all the amazing fabric.
Oh, cool.
Okay, everyone else is also saying it is funnel, so it seems like we were correct.
It's a funnel. A funnel.
And Gail says it's a fabulous idea.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's right. That's Lisa Bragg's idea. I read the last comment for the first one because apparently I'm like,
that's okay.
Upside down dyslexic.
All right,
if you don't have a point turner like Amanda said, you can use one of those takeaway chopsticks. That's the great idea that Gail was talking about. That's Lisa Bragg's idea.
Yes, you can. Yeah. Okay, I'm not going to turn this one. That's what it looks like. Also has a little hole that you have to just sew close. But that's my little fun project. And the nice thing about it, it's such a small piece of fabric, and the triangle which I lost, that you can use all your scraps for it.
And if you put enough marbles in, you can throw it at someone.
Ooh, it can hurt someone badly.
That's the point. Bianca's eating pizza.
Oh, lekker. Don't make me less.
I'm eating my ideal food.
Okay, guys. So we are the project tonight. I said last week that I'm gonna give you a project that you can actually use in your sewing room. But I was thinking today, as I was making it, that it's actually a cool thing for many things. So when we're done, I'll give you an idea of what I thought. So on the pattern, I don't have a picture now. Is a picture of what my hand drawing of what a pattern what the bag will look like. So quite an easy pattern. You have this, which is the main body, and you have the outside pocket, and you have inside pocket, and you have the handle facing, and you have the side caddy. Okay, so I did quite a bit of work because here's the triangle, found it. So I would actually, if you like this one, I would make it slightly bigger. It's a bit small. So I've done quite a bit of work ahead because a lot of the things we've done before. All right. So this is the main body. And you can see that I've already quilted it through. All right. Then the next pattern you're going to get, already quilted it through. And if you look, if you look at this, okay, so that's that. And what you'll get is you get this inside pocket. So you will put the inside pocket right side to right side, sew down there, turn it over so that it'll give you a tube. Turn the tube right side out, iron it nice and flat, and then literally that nice and flat, give it a top stitch at the top. That goes on those pattern markings like that. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to just sew it down on that pattern marking. So very, very simple. And this is them added on. Okay, and you can see that they now have little sections. The little sections, so that you don't have to sew that because that's when you do the outside bag pockets. Those are sewn through. Okay, so exactly the same on the other side, except on this side, the pocket, same thing, is longer. If you look at that, is longer than the actual bit. So on your pattern, you have these two markings. So once your pocket is sewn like that, you are going to match up that line, and you're going to pin that, and you're going to lift this, and you're going to match up that line, and you're going to pin there, and you're going to sew through there and sew through there. Once that is sewn, you're going to match up those sides and just baste that together. And the same here. And that is how you end up with these little outside pockets that open up to give you a little bit more space. And then you are just going to sew right down here to close the pocket. So that's what I'm going to do now. Those are the easy bits, and then the rest of it, oh, I can't, if I see a little thread, I can't concentrate. Can you see? And then we'll go with the rest of it. Just want to see, this one is likely.
Yeah, this quilting takes so long, but it's worth it.
Oh no, it's
Saskia says,
worth every
good
second.
evening, fellow Fabric8 addicts. Hey, Saskia.
Hello.
If you don't use the chopstick, you can also use a thick knitting needle.
Yes, but you have to be careful when pushing out corners, né? If you're working with thin fabric, I have many times actually pushed the scissor point or a thick needle point right through my fabric, and then I have to re-sew that. So just beware. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly sew this. Hopefully this machine works with us, because this is the last, the only other machine here. I actually need to, I think my machine needs a service. It hasn't been serviced yet, because this is not the first week that it's giving me problems. So, okay, so this is quite thick, guys. And I always say to people, when it's thick, you know when it's thick. Give your machine, you know, that's like when you see a pothole in the road, you're not going to speed up, you're going to slow down. So, again, this is very thick. And just sew slowly. Your machine will last longer if you give it the proper respect.
I aim for the potholes.
Is it? I bet, Matthew, you can't. We're not with that. Maybe with your car, but not with it. Lisa's car's wheels can't do potholes.
My car can. Just pop. It's fine.
Okay, so that's that one done. It does look like the machine sewed it. Okay, and then we're just going to quickly do this one. Then we're going to get into the fun bit. The bits we haven't actually previously done. So, and this is very, very nicely put together in pictures, all of this. So if you feel like I've gone over this too quickly, don't be afraid, because the pictures really explain this very nicely, and the instructions for that matter. Okay, last bit. This machine is also less likely to complain than the electronics about thick fabric, because it's manual. All right, so there we go. So now you can see that you have these little pockets, and if you think about what the bag's going to be like, it's going to be a little bag like that, and these little pockets, and it also has the inside pockets. Okay, so that's that bit. The next bit is this piece of, let me just put that there, is this piece of pattern. Okay, so this is just a single layer fabric, and which you then put a little bit of fusing on. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to the wrong side now, iron the 1 centimeter seam allowance into it like that. And you're also gonna very neatly, if you don't know how to bring over pattern markings, a nice cheat is I take a needle and I make a little hole and a little hole and a little hole, and then if I can show you somewhere on this piece, you'll see that if I just press there and there and there, see, that's my pattern markings through. So that's one way of getting the pattern markings quite easily. Okay, so you need to bring over that little square, very, very important, and the 2 spots for your magnetic bag clasps. So on the one side, and you can see that there where I put my clasp, I've given it, this is just a tip, I've given it an extra piece of fusing, just because it's metal and it can tear out. So on the one side of on the one piece of pattern, I have the one side of the clasp, and on the other one, I have the other piece, and it's gonna be like that. And it's going to end up, if I can show you, it is going to end up on the inside of that. So it's going to hold that bag like that. Okay, so now that we've done that, once they are like this, it doesn't matter which one goes which side, you are going to get your piece like this, and you are going to pin that there.
Saskia says I made 4 sun hats. Forgot to take pics in post.
Oh,
the actually perfect.
Oh, okay, awesome. I always want to know if someone used the patterns, and am I making sense when I think I'm making perfect sense, and then it's completely not making sense for other people. Okay, so I'm just gonna pin that right side to right side. Oh, that pin did not work. Can you see on the outside of the bag, right side to right side? Okay, on the other side, same thing. Just gonna do that exactly like that. There we go. And you can see that I'm not pinning as if I'm going to sew around the edges, and I'll explain to you now what we are going to be doing.
Dr. Sherman says, what type of fabric is this one, and which shop around Joburg, where can I get it?
Oh, this is 100% cotton fabric, all of these, and most fabric shops have cotton fabric, and the reason I use cotton fabric is cotton fabric doesn't burn quickly. So you can't, it takes quite a while to burn it with your iron, and it also folds and irons very nicely. So you get a nice crisp look, and it doesn't shrink, and it doesn't whatever. So mostly cotton fabric. You can also use cotton Ankara or 𝐓𝐈𝐌𝐄𝐄. Remember when you're using 𝐓𝐈𝐌𝐄𝐄 that it has, most cotton fabrics would, most people will suggest that you actually wash it and naturally dry it. Don't put it in a tumble dryer, because that stretches it out again, because most cotton fabrics tend to shrink with a little bit of water. So you want to naturally dry it. Don't iron it dry, because the iron stretches it out again. All right, so especially when you're making clothes, when you're making bags and things like that, it's not as important. But if you're making clothes, cotton fabric shrinks quite a bit, especially 𝐓𝐈𝐌𝐄𝐓 shrinks a lot. So don't make a dress out of 𝐓𝐈𝐿 and it fits you, and then you wash it and it won't fit you. Okay. All right. So what we need to do is I'm going to take my pen again. You need to sew around this, just this block. Okay. So suggestion, top tip. When you get to the corner, about from there and about from there, you can use normal stitch length. And when you get there, change it down to about 2 mil. So make them nice and close together. Because we're going to be cutting here, same as with the corners on that little thing we just made. So we make the stitches shorter so that it holds the fabric better. So when we turn it inside out, it doesn't pop out of the seam. Okay. So you can also just sew the whole thing at a shorter stitch length. So normal stitch length is about 2.5 mil on your machine. The setting is about 2.5. So I would set it down to 2 mil. Okay, so I'm gonna do that and sew around quickly. This is a very you gotta be quite accurate.
Lisa brags, is your pin cushion from the lid of a jar?
Yeah, I broke the jar a few weeks back on live. So, but it actually now works perfectly. Look, it's one of those, those with the loose inside lids. But now it actually works better than it did with the jar. I'm quite happy with that plan. That plan worked out.
And then Saskia says, Amanda, what machine are you using today? Not the usual.
This is the Brother GS3700. It's a completely manual machine in the sense that it's still obviously motorized. People always go like a manual machine. It just doesn't have a computer. So it is like the machines I grew up on. Just sort of a few years after school, the electronic machines started coming in. That's when you have a button for reverse and the needle automatically stays at the top. Like with this one, when you end, you have to turn the wheel up. So it is a perfectly good machine. It is a real workhorse. And as I said, it actually can take quite a bit more punishment than the computerized ones just because I always try and say, I say it's like, if you take like a city golf, okay, and you compare it to a BMW, obviously like one of the new BMWs, okay, obviously the BMW's got a lot more features and buttons and lights and everything, but the person working on it also needs a lot more technical experience. So this is like the city golf of sewing machines. It has no fancy bits that can break or that can stop working or that I don't know, the computer, it doesn't have a motherboard, and it is I want to say it's almost like the traditional sewing machine. I used to give classes, and most of my students, well, my classes had all of these machines. I had like 10 or 15 of them, and most of my students, when buying a machine, bought this machine because it's easy to use and it's not finicky, and it can take a little bit of punishment, as I said.
Dean Frederick says the city golf sewing machines, love it.
Yeah.
I actually feel mechanical is more resilient / robust.
No, it is, and I'm not saying that. Listen, it's the computerized one took me a while to get used to, but now this drives like a city golf, and everyone loves a city golf. But then if you get out of the city golf and you get into a like modern car with, like, as I said, buttons and auto gearbox and Ali fancy bits, it is nice. It is nicer. Yes, it is nicer. I would not have believed you a few years back because I grew up on this. I taught my students on this, and I actually bought myself a computerized machine, which I sold within like a month because I just couldn't get used to it. And then because I sell the machines, I didn't want to look like a fool not being able to work them when I'm like showing someone. So I actually forced myself a week or two to work on a computerized electronic machine. And I gotta say, just getting back here tonight where I like the flywheel thing, and there's some benefits to a computerized machine. But they are more finicky, yes. Definitely. And this one also has
mechanical is easier.
This is also, this machine also has a small throat compared to my machine. Throat, or some people call it a neck, but this is the neck, that's the throat. Okay, so I'm just sewing through everything here, right through, and I'm trying to keep as perfectly on my square as I possibly can. And as I said, I've got my machine set to stitch length 2 instead of 2.5. Okay, and that is done. And I'm also much slower on this machine, but that is not a problem. Okay, so
which you prefer? Which you guys prefer, Amanda? Okay, we're gonna do it's poll time.
I also keep forgetting to hold the thread, which you don't have to do with the electronic machine, but a computerized one. So I get these little bundles, unfortunately. Okay, so now I can take the pins out. All right. Okay.
Yes,
Done.
Bianca, yay. Poll time. I love a good poll.
Okay, so what do we need to do now? We need to, okay, draw a line down the middle and then go right to the corner, there and there. That's what you need to draw. Okay, draw a line down the middle. Don't go too close. Don't make a square like that. It's too small. Make it bigger. So give yourself some space. Otherwise, it is a very tiny, short little piece to work with. Okay, once you've done that, you will need a buttonhole cutter, which I don't have. So we are going to move that.
So guys, please vote in the poll. The poll is up.
And
Vote what
you
Amanda should use.
are going to cut right through. See? And I don't suggest that you do the next bit of cutting with an empty cutter. It's just quite thick. And this is the easy bit. All right? So I've gone straight through. And now I'm going to cut on these lines to my corner. It's a very thick fabric. My machine, I had a conversation about my scissors this afternoon. I believe that I am due a new scissors. Okay, so you want to cut to the corner as close as you can get, really close, without cutting your own sewing. And that's why you need to use a shorter stitch length, so that when we turn this whole gedoente around, we have strong little stitches there in the corner. So I'm just going to be cutting. This is also how you make a vent pocket, or whatever. Everyone's got a different name for that pocket. You know, like in men's suits, that little pocket at the top where you put in a little hanky. It's the same. Say this is like the vanilla sort of way. There's another one with a little placard at the top. So this is not exactly that one, but if you go Google men's suit pockets, you'll see the difference. But this is the same idea. Okay, so this is quite thick. So be very careful when you're cutting. If you do happen to cut through your... Oh, as I said, I think I deserve a new Victorinox scissors. Let's vote on that. That Amanda deserves a Victorinox scissor.
So, just Paul, we can't do that now.
So I'm just going to check on the back side that I'm also close enough to my corners.
Paul, this is
Yeah.
featherweights are great, very precise stitching.
What?
Featherweights are great, very
Oh,
precise
yeah.
stitching.
Now I've got 2 or 3.
He
Okay.
asks, would you recommend a beginner starts with a manual machine and then moves over to a computer?
No. If you haven't sewn before, start off with a computerized machine. That is where everything is going. You're going to have to eventually go over. Very few of the brands still actually make manual machines, and the manual machines is old technology, and also tend to be the cheap of a brand. So you know, you get a brother for about 2,000 rand, and then this brother is 4,000, say. I don't know exactly. So that 2,000 rand machine, I would never even touch. I don't want to sew on it. I don't want to use it. And I'm not being rude. I am a teacher, so I'm giving you my advice for someone who hasn't got a sewing machine. Okay, whatever sewing machine you have is perfect. If it works, it's perfect. If you're buying something then I would never start at the real bottom of the range of any sewing machine manufacturer. So you should always go up one or two. This, for instance, I think is about I think there's two less pricey. I don't know. Cheaper sounds so like I'm saying brothers are cheap. That's not what I'm saying. It's the cheaper bits of them. So I would, if I was buying a machine now, I would buy an electronic computerized machine. They are super easy. They have very cool features like speed control, which I love. I don't use it on slow ever. It's like my car. But if you're working fine and you're new, it can actually set slower. It has, you get some of them that have, like the one I normally sew on has a little scissors, so it cuts your thread after it's sewn. I also have a feature on mine that can, that little bit of enforcement stitch that you do at the beginning and at the end, it does that automatically. And then it also has some, what I call picture stitches. So, okay, so now once we've done this,
Bianca says new scissors, and Zaki, you do eventually outgrow your machine.
yeah, you do.
So the poll, I'm going to end the poll now. It
What is
appears
happening?
like there are with 10 votes. We have the winner is the manual machine. Second place was your normal computerized machine, and then at last place with only 2 votes by hand.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna fly for me. If
tried.
I had to sew by hand, which we did at school, I'll never forget. The first year you do, you did sewing when I was at school. I made a complete freaking dress hand sewn. But yeah, if it wasn't for sewing machines, I don't think I would be sewing.
That's not very.
So this is
not very sewing positive.
So this is just a little helpful hint. We're just gonna iron that nice and flat. Again, just to help it when we turn it inside out. Okay, because we have quite a thick besigheid here. So I'm just gonna iron that to give it a nice clean edge. All right. And that, okay. And the next thing we're going to do is you are going to shove all of this. Shove it through the hole. All right?
Dean says that little iron is so cute.
It is, no? Okay, so we're going to shove it through the hole. See? I've just shoved it. Can you see? All of it here. All right? And this is where that corner cutting bit becomes a thing. Okay, so we have quite a thick the foam of the basting. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to try and cut some of the foam away just to give it a little bit less bulkiness here. So I'm only going to cut away one bit of the foam, not the foam, the see? I've still got it there, but just to get a little bit less bulk in here. So I'm just going to take that away. Again, on this side, I can also just take some of it away. It just takes away some of the bulk. And there also.
Saskia said if we had to sew by hand, we would have to do it more than an hour live. Excuse me, Saskia.
Yeah, Nia.
It's already been an hour and 5 minutes. It's already longer than an hour live. I mean, how much more could it possibly take us?
How are we looking for time? Because my clock is still not working.
It is at time.
Okay.
It's 5:40.
Okay, no, we're fine still. Okay. So this is a little bit of a struggle, and it's just because this bit is quite thick. All right. So once we've done that, there and there, we are going to get the ironing board back. Because this is now when we... And if it does that little crease there in the corner, don't pull too hard. But by pulling it, sometimes you can fix that little crease. And that crease is only happening here now because we have such thick quilting work here. So I'm just going to pin that and pin there. Can you see what's happening? We are making our own. Oh no, wait. What did I do? No, I'm correct. Sorry about that. Had a little moment there. I'm not in the middle of the camera. So I'm going to just pull this nice and neat.
Dean Felix says, I'm living for Olaf.
Olaf.
Yes, because they explained that.
Oh,
Olaf.
is it? Did they? I was about to say Yitzi, but you have been studying up, looking up. Okay, so I'm going to do that. And I'm going to pull this here. Because we want to, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to top stitch around the hole. You don't need to, but you can. All right. Okay. And we are going to just sew a top stitch down there. You see? And you can top stitch through here. I'm just wondering if if it's not too bulky for the machine. So we're going to try it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, then we are stopping. It is quite bulky because I did three layers of what is it called? Compressed batting. So it is quite thick.
Saskia says, if Olaf goes missing, you know he's chilling with Dean.
Yeah.
Bianca says, loving the top view. I know. Honestly, I don't like the top view that much because you can never see me anymore because it's just top view all the time, and I feel.
Oh, shame, Matthew.
I feel unloved, but it's okay. I'm used to feeling unloved. It's all good.
Okay, so see, this is, for instance, this you can hear this machine is, it's not loving what I'm doing, but it's doing it.
You don't need your cogs to be happy about. They just need to be obedient.
Oh, there we go. It's not happy. There's something very thick here. I think it's also because I'm breaking it. There we go. Let me get this out of the way here. So I'm going to just do the one side. Because again, you guys don't need to see me do two of these. Oh, you know what it is? My stitch length is still at 2. That is why it sounds like it's struggling. Shame, man.
Bianca says, go slow. Most machines can handle it. Just go slow and never force them. Might break a gear.
Yeah, no, I'm still at 2. I didn't reset my stitch length, so I thought something was not looking well. Anyway, so we learn. Everyone learns. There we go. Okay, so now just this final bit of top stitching here. I would actually, now that that's sewn, just to be sure. Oh gosh, my nails are too long. That's when just to be sure that this is nice and flat and neat. Because it looks like it actually wants to pull a little bit. Doesn't matter. We're just gonna get it done. I realize now that this could have been also the contrast color. Okay, can we just set this stitch length right now? Okay, here we go. Yeah, no. I am not, can you see how I'm not used to this machine? I've lost my thread again. I'm going to possibly be sewing on it for a week or more because I am having to, I think, send mine in for repairs. Not repairs, but as I said, I haven't actually, it hasn't been serviced before, so it's about time. I always say to people, if your machine is still working and it's a new machine, it's not like the old machines. It doesn't need to be oiled and. So here's an interesting fact. If you do not get a bottle of oil with a machine, you are not to oil it. That means that it is self-oiling to a point, and that it uses very specialized sewing machine oil, and we don't sell those, and you can't buy those. So they are supposed to be oiled when serviced. Next question is, when do I know my machine needs a service? Well, firstly, when you feel it needs a service, it probably does. If you work on something every day, you must know when it doesn't sound or feel perfect. But otherwise, if you work a lot, and by a lot I mean you finish, let's say, 10 garments a week, every 7 days. So let's say you finish a garment a day for a whole month. Then I would suggest you take your machine every 6 months. If you sew only over weekends and sew, you take it when it sounds funny, doesn't sew right, or every year. If you don't sew a lot and your machine is standing, you still need to take it for a service, let's say once every year. Okay? The less you sew on your machine, the more the oil in it, actually, it's called something. They use a word for it. It's like the consistency of the oil. It's like oil in an engine also, I think. It by warming up, it sort of spreads everywhere and it becomes thin. When it just stands, that's when people's sewing machines engine seize up, or your car engine seize up. When you've got old, hard, cold, I don't know what it's called, man. It's called something. Oil. So yeah. Yeah.
Saskia says Amanda used the Ferrari speed with the sewing machine.
Yes.
Lisa Bragg said, since I've had my little prim iron a few years already, I've never been able to use water in it as it leaks.
Huh? I've never had that. Did you drop it?
I do need to get a little mat for the iron.
Yes, we have them, and they special imports, so we get them like once a year.
Yang says your machine needs a service.
My machine.
Yes, not that one.
No, the other one. Yeah. I have never had that on a Pro Mini iron, but I did have it on one that I dropped, and that's the same thing with a normal sewing machine also. I once dropped my best. Actually, one of my students dropped the best iron I've ever bought or paid for the most, and yeah, I was very, very sad. Okay, so can you see what's happening here? All right, so if we have done this bit, it'll also, so that's why I'm saying you could actually make this also maybe like the bright color, and I would actually also just now when I'm done just give it a stay stitch to keep that nice and neat. All right, and you're obviously going to do the other side also, and then that's going to stand like that. Isn't it cute? Then last bit is this. Okay, this. So this pattern is like this. Sorry. You're going to cut 2 outer and 2 inner. So you can see that one matches up with the inner, and that one matches up with the outer. And you can also fuse it, and someone just did a quick quilting through it. Okay, So what we're going to do now is, this is the inside of the bag. And this pattern does not look right.
I think it's coffee time, Amanda.
What? Yeah, no, I know. This pattern does not look right. Let me just see. Yeah, no, this is not right. This needs to be shorter. Can you guys see? This is going to sew like that. Yeah. Okay, so it seems like I might have added seam allowance here, which I shouldn't have. So I will fix that, but otherwise, you guys just see what I'm doing. I'm taking off 1 centimeter on the side here, and I'm also going to take it off there. Sorry, it's always these last bits that I haven't tested that I could find my mistakes on. I'm just going to take that off there and take that off there. All right, let's hope this works now. Okay, so now this obviously needs to be on the inside, né? So we're going to pin that there and pin this here. That looks perfect. So yeah, it must be a seam allowance mistake. I'm going to pin that there, and I'm going to pin it there. And I am going to stop exactly there. So if you can't see through the fabric, or you can't aim, make a little mark for yourself where you must stop sewing. So I'm just going to sew that bit at 1 centimeter. Okay? And you can also pin the other side and do them together. Okay. Okay, so we're going to just sew 1 centimeter seam allowance. I'm going to start there, stop there. All right. Make this little machine work tonight, eh?
Yeah, the machine is designed to work. When it stands, it rusts and sticks.
Yeah. So a lot of people, I don't know if you've seen this before, a lot of people sell a second-hand machine and they'll go, barely worked on it, but it's a 1985 machine. Just opened the box, tested it, and put it back in the box. That is the worst machine to buy. Unless you are prepared to take it for a service before you even use it. Because that machine will seize up on you. Most likely. Okay, so I've done that. Let's just do the other side. Then I can take these pins out. What is our time? Yeah, no, we've got 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes, man. We are A for okay. Why do they say that? A for okay. It doesn't actually make sense now that I say it.
I don't know if they say that.
Oh, no.
They say A-okay. It's A-okay. Once.
Oh, okay. Maybe then it's I might be
Because I know.
confusing two things people say. Okay, so that's that. Okay. So we stopped at 1 centimeter from the edge. So now what you're gonna do is I think this pattern is still not completely correct, but it's okay. You can figure it out, man. All right, so you want to turn this up. There we go. It seems to be a little bit too big still, but it doesn't matter. That is that. I'm going to turn it up. I'm going to sew it while I'm doing it so you can see what it looks like. Because this is going to be a pain to actually pin.
Thanks, it's A for away. Never heard of that.
Oh. Okay, see, I'm confusing too. I told you. It's a classic Amanda. Oh, this is very thick. I was very brave when I put the backing with 3 layers. I thought I've already caught that. No, I have not. This is where an industrial machine is flippin' awesome. With these kind of very thick stuff. Okay, well, we just need to get that one bit done so I can show you. So guys, my suggestion, don't follow my example where I actually made the outer, because I thought I wanted it to be like stiffer. Unless you have an industrial machine, I wouldn't make the outer 3 layers because that makes it extremely thick. So we're just going to sew to that point where we stopped. I'm luckily far enough away that if I break this needle. Okay, I just want to show you. Okay, so can you see what's happening? We are making a little square like that and like that. All right, this is going to close and that's going to prevent your bits and bobs from falling out. So when you're done, you're just going to clean up the edge all the way around. All right, because we are not finished, but you're going to just clean up all the way around, and then you are just going to put some bias binding right around, all the way around, and that is your bag. And as I said, I have all of these projects at my home, in my sewing room, waiting to be finished. And once I've finished them all, I will have one evening to show you all of them. But basically, if you can imagine, that is it. And as I said, all of this, I mean, you saw how long that little bit took me. So it's going to take me another 10 minutes to finish this. It's going to take me 10 minutes to do each of these. And then I have to do the bias binding. But that's not the bits you need to know. I've shown you the bits. I don't need to show you this twice. Yeah. So I don't finish them, but I mean, they are very capable of being finished. It's just it takes too long to do on a live. So if we maybe just do a quick pin here so we get a better look. Anyone have any questions? What do you think about this? I actually wanted to tell you, I thought this can also be cool for like, you know, anything you're doing. If you like, your kids have like school and they want to put their pens and their stuff, or it doesn't need to be just sewing things. It is open at the side, but I mean, it's almost, I wonder if one couldn't also use it as a little like picnic box. Okay, so you're going to basically, I'm going to just pin.
Is it expensive to maintain such service or sewing machine?
No, it's not, because if you don't sew every day, it is really not. And I think to service the sewing machine is like 500 Rand to depending on who you use and so on. It's about 500-600 Rand. Okay, so there you get an idea.
Diesel asks, where are you based?
Belleville, Cape Town. Okay, so see, look. Isn't that cute? I think that's very cute. Okay, I wouldn't put scissors in there. I mean, there's some pin and some pins. You can even put the glue in there. And then you have this whole little bag inside. Look. So what I like about it is because it stands up, it can actually be sort of like a carry with you. If you crochet, for instance, you can have all your little crochet hooks, and if you are busy drawing and You know, you have like, you can have all your pens or even little paint brushes. And because it stands up, I quite like that, but it also has the little inside pocket. I think it's cute.
Bianca said I would use this caddy for a gardening bag too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you can put your little graphies in here. If, for instance, this comes up to high, you could just change that pattern to be straight like that. So that you can put bigger things in here. But like, I mean, you can take this anyway. It's like, you can have like a book in there, you can have a cell phone in there, whatever. It can be a handbag. Well, I suppose if you make this like bigger and you take these off, it could actually be quite a funky bag also. But that's what it is. What do you guys think? Do you like it? I'm running out of ideas. You guys need to WhatsApp us with new ideas.
Despite her, except her Janome, she services her other machines herself. I don't know.
Oh yeah, if you know what you're doing, yes. If I just cleaned and freaking opened up my machine and gave it all new things, but something somewhere is not lekker. But the last time that happened, the next time I used it, it was fine again. So maybe it just didn't want to work with me today. It just didn't want to work with me.
She says, Saskia asked, they're all working machines. She says, yes, they are the only makers that Lisa Bragg doesn't have his brother,
Husqvarna, yeah. And Faf, yes.
Bianca says, enough pockets for snacks, lunch bag.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I quite like it. Like, see, even if you're doing like embroidery or hand sewing, you could take your little project with you. I have a gourmet bag. Just tiny bag for tiny things. Or otherwise, as I said, I think it's a cool bag to have, maybe not on your, like if you want, it can stand on your desk because it just needs to be balanced, but it's because there's nothing inside. It actually can have all the big tools also.
Next up, a foldable shopping bag with snaps.
No, we have that. We've done that. We've got a pattern. It might be off already. Maybe I'll redo it. I'll see.
Lisa Bragg and Bianca, for using it as a lunch bag, maybe line it with waterproof fabric on the inside.
Yeah. Or put holes in it. For the water to run out. Or you can also put like little feet here. No, we used those feet in last week's project and they're so cute. I actually never used them before, but I quite like them. I'm going to start using them. I should have just added it.
So, what is the name for the waterproof material?
That's silver stuff.
It's a reusable pad for donating to girls in need. Sorry, for the next project. Not your bag now.
I don't know. I don't have that fabric. I don't know where to get that fabric. I know where to get. I don't know actually. I don't know the ins and outs of that. Maybe someone knows and they can advise me. But I've actually never made those, and I know you can't just use somewhere anything because, I mean, I can just imagine that the gemors that can afgee.
Bianca says soft shell fleece is also waterproof.
Okay, I didn't know that. I don't use soft shell fleece. I don't use anything stretchy, people. Don't like stretchy fabric.
And then
anything else?
It says thanks for sharing.
Okay. Oh, I think this bag cute. Should have actually made these pockets the lighter purple. It would look nicer. Anyways. Could still make it.
How about 2 mini projects, a water bottle carrier with a handle?
Oh, that's the next plan. I'm working on something. I'm working on a water bottle carrier that fits because the sizing, man. What size bottle do you have? How thick is it? How thin is it? So I'm working a plan to make one that can sort of fit more than one size bottle. Yes. And what else?
Bag.
A waist peg. It's like a doggy treat bag. Or is she talking like a waist?
Franza said that on. It was two separate ideas.
It's probably.
Gets it off and she didn't have it.
It's we've made a peg bag, I think 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, and a waist peg bag is just the apron with a pocket, is it not? I don't know, but the water bottle carrier, I'm looking at a sample I'm busy with, so that is coming soon. Okay, guys, we have to be out of here by 9. We have to pack up. Thank you so much for joining me. And please, guys, keep your ears on the ground. Find us a crochet and knitting young Instagram person or person who actually doesn't mind making videos. And I can tell you it takes about 2 or 3 sessions, and then you don't actually care what you look like, and you don't care what people think, and you just do what you want to do. Thank you so much.
Bye,
Thanks for
everyone.
joining.
Goodbye.
Give us a like quickly. Show Lisa.
Like
Show Lisa that you care.
before you leave on Facebook as well.
Facebook.
Just so people are lurkers.
Come on, lurker, Facebook lurkers. Give us a like. Like. Subscribe.
All the rest, yes.
Thank you so much, guys. Okay, who's going off first? YouTube.
People, yes, YouTube and Facebook.
YouTube
Bye.
and Facebook. Thank you for joining me.
Bye.
Have a good day. Night. Bye-bye.